Mohammed Irfan Ali, we would like to welcome you. It's been a long-awaited visit, and we welcome it very much. I would also like to welcome the Minister of Housing and Water, Minister Colin Crowell. We'd also like to welcome Honorable Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Minister Pauline Sakai. And to the extreme end, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Minister Deodat. Sorry for just saying the name. And to this end here, we have our own Honorable Minister Nigel Darmla, Minister of Local Government. We welcome all of you. I've been going to a lot of meetings, and all I've been hearing is that when our president comes, he will be bringing gifts for us. So we hope that there's a big gift or numerous gifts today. And as you can see, you pass through Matthews Ridge. Matthews Ridge is a small community with 1,700 people, including our satellite villages. And we have little to no economic activity. So we hope today that whatever is being said here, that it would be fruitful and help us along the way. Once again, welcome to everyone. Welcome our president and team and other guests. And we love you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, City Chairperson Ms. Sharon Phillips. Come on, residents of Matthews Ridge. We can do better than that. Let's give His Excellency a warm welcome to Matthews Ridge. Your Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, members of the head table, we welcome you today to Matthews Ridge. I will now call on we now have a dance. Can you please come forward? Thank you very much. There are many more to see. So without further delay, I will now call on our Regional Chairman, Mr. Brenton Lashley, to give his remarks in today's gathering.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Lear, Your Excellency, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Honorable Ministers of Government, Minister Darmalal, Minister Kroll, Minister Sukai, Minister Diadat, Indar, and the leaders of the communities who are present here today, Arakaka, Matthews Ridge, Taswini, Baramita, residents of Matakai, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good. I'm very pleased this morning to be a part of this outreach that is being spearheaded by His Excellency, our President, to the community of Matthews Ridge, with a gathering of persons from the nearby villages here at the community center. And this is, Chairperson Phillips would have said, is a long-awaited visit for this community. And I know that at the level of the region, with the support of the People's Progressive Party civic government, through the vision of His Excellency, we have been undertaking a lot of transformative projects within this community, such as in the area of education and health, and many other areas as well. Like for instance, at Tasawini, we are about to open a new school that was never there before in the area of education, and the community health post is almost completed. And again, this is delivering on the promise of our government to you, the people of Matakai. And so this morning I know too that before the end of today, there will be a new minibus coming for this community, and we're hoping that His Excellency will be able to commission that minibus before he leaves. And so the DRU would have informed me that the bus, which is the Port Kaituba, is currently being brought here to Matthews Ridge, so that His Excellency can officially hand it over for the purpose of education delivery in the community. And there are many other things at the regional level that we have been undertaking, because government has been providing the resources so that the lives of you, the people within this community, can become better. And this will continue along the path, the developmental path will continue as the years ahead of us. And so we will continue to work with you in the community. And I don't want to take up much of your time, because I know you will hear from our honorable ministers, and most importantly, hearing from His Excellency, our President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Regional Chairman of Burima Wine Region. I will now call on our Honorable Minister of Housing and Water, Minister Colin Kroll, to give his brief remarks.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman Leo Fraser. Matakai, good morning. I'm pleased to be joining His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, on this outreach today. So let's give him a big Matakai welcome. I also want to acknowledge my colleague ministers here. I want to say that I noticed persons have mentioned that this is a long-awaited outreach. But I also want to remind you, His Excellency came to every community here within Matakai, visited every corner when he was seeking your support. And in seeking your support, he committed to you that once re-elected into office, a PPPC government will ensure that development and transformation comes to every corner of our country. And so you have been seeing such development for your region. And you know, sometimes many of you message me and you give the perception that those of you who are at this end of the sub-region within the Matakai, Baramita, within Matthews Ridge, Baramita end, you give the perception like if the leadership have you as the stepchild. But I want to clear up that myth. And I give you a typical example. Let's use water sector. By the end of last year, we had an assessment of delivery of water within the region. We were somewhere around 65-64%. Within the last 12 months alone, we drilled a new well right here in Matthews Ridge, not far from here. Then we moved on so that is now connected here in Ridge. The community of Mainab for the very first time started to receive water, and this is in the last 12 months. We then moved on to Baramita, where a new well is drilled, and the system is now connected, and for the very first time within the last 2 weeks, the community of Baramita, those on the central location, are receiving water. They then moved to Arakaka, and because I'm calling communities that are here, we moved to Arakaka. We've completed drilling a new well there, and as I speak, the pipe laying exercise is ongoing, and by the first week of January, the community of Arakaka, most of the community of Arakaka will be getting water from a pipe for the very first time. We then moved, I'm finished there, we then moved to Pukira. We drilled a new well within the last month. Right now, the pipe laying exercise is ongoing. And I can assure you within the Pukira area, by the end of this year, you will too be connected to the water grid. We then moved to Falstaff. And this is all this end of the Matakai. So I make this point to let you know that we can speak about all the other sectors, but we recognize the community of in Matakai, and here closer to Matthews Ridge, we recognize that there was a gap, and we committed to you once we re-elected to office, and we've been doing that, is to ensure that we bring a better development for you, our people. And no doubt, when you listen to Our Excellency, he will tell you more. So thank you all for coming out here today. I want for you to, however, when we finish listening to His Excellency, that in your representation and your advocacy for the concerns in the various clusters, whether it's from Baramita to Arakaka, that's the cluster we invited today. You know why? Because we didn't ask you to come to Port Kaituma yesterday. Our president wanted to be in your community today. And while we're doing this as a sub-cluster, I can assure you, in due time, he will be going to all of the individual communities. He has been an active president. He has been a president that's been visiting all of the communities, listening to your concerns directly, so that it can help for us to form the policies as a government. So when you are raising the issues in a few minutes, please ensure that we have every area represented. But if a particular issue is raised or a question is asked, it is no sense that you repeat it. You will get the same answer. We want for every community to be able to be represented today, and we want to listen to you. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much, Minister of Housing and Water, for that brief remark. I will now call on our Honorable the Minister of American Affairs, Ms. Pauline Sukai. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, MC and comrade. Good morning, everyone. First of all, let me also recognize the head table, His Excellency and the team, my colleague ministers, and the regional chair, and of course the CDC chairs, the NDC chairs and officials that are here, the leaders from the smaller communities, and of course the residents of Matthews Ridge and its environs, including Arakaka. Today I am very pleased to be here with you, along with His Excellency and the rest of the team, to provide brief remarks to you. The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs is part and parcel of our government, and we have worked in Region 1 extensively. We've worked in all the other hinterland regions. And today the government has allowed us to work with 240 hinterland communities. And of course, the Amerindian communities make up almost 90% of those areas. We are advancing our support to the development in all the villages, the communities, the satellites, and this section of Region 1 has not been left out. In fact, even though Matthews Ridge is not an Amerindian community, our ministry has provided support to this community through the CDC. Just to remind you that we have supported a fencing of the nursery school, we have provided a tractor and trailer, and for the administration of the CDC we provided also an ATV. So we have not left this area out, and I know that there is Arakaka. Arakaka too has begun to receive support from us, and we will continue to do that. I know MINAB has written in recently to be added to our list, and I can assure you that we will be working and supporting MINAB and all the other communities that have so indicated that we need to extend our support to. It is one government. Our president is building one Guyana, in which he envisaged that all of Guyana will be beneficiaries to the resources and the benefits of our country, and we have no excuse not to be engaging with the people, neither working alongside you as you develop in your community. There's a lot of work going on across our country, and Region 1 is well integrated into it. Not to signal Minister Crow, who is the designated geographical MP for this area, but when he was speaking, I was thinking, you know, he took care of his constituency pretty well, and he will continue to do so as we work. And you can rest assured that our government and the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs will continue to support the development in the Amerindian locations and villages, including the CDCs that we are engaged in. Today, I want you similarly to raise matters that you believe can help to advance your community and village development, and I also want you to make recommendations so that we can take our development in Region 1 forward, including you, so no one will be left behind. Thank you very much for being here to welcome us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wallace Sugai. I will now call on the Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Honorable Minister Deodat Dindar. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Excellency President of the Corporate Republic of Guyana, colleague ministers, friends and colleagues. I'm just happy to be here today to join His Excellency here, just to make sure that I provide support to whatever announcement the President will make today. I just want to let you know that the Ministry of Public Works stand in full support of you and all works that we have to do with the power company as well as roads and so on. We will ensure that it's been done. I will personally be on the ground to make sure that happens, and I want to give you that commitment. I want to be here so that you can hold me to that commitment, that I will be here to make sure whatever commitments are made today, that we will get them done. I don't want to speak any further. I will be for announcements to the President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will now call on the Minister of Local Government. He's no other than Honorable Nigel Carola.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. So I'm happy to be back in Matthews Ridge once again. And I'm especially happy because the many times myself and Minister Crow came, you've always been saying that you would like the President to come because some decisions we can't seem to make. So happily, His Excellency has brought us back with him, to make sure that the decisions that he will make today on behalf of his government to the people of Matthews Ridge, that we ensure that those interventions are implemented. So you know, since President Ali took office, we've been spending a lot of time working across the country, and in the communities of Matakai, and in particular in Matthews Ridge, both here, Arakaka, and towards Baramita, we have been doing a tremendous lot of work in different aspects of your life. And so, during the course of next year and the following years, we will continue to intensify what we're doing to make sure that your lives become less challenging. Matthews Ridge is a challenging area for many of you. And when President Ali took office, one of the first interventions he made in Matthews Ridge was to ensure that to fight the effects of COVID, that every single household in Matthews Ridge receive a COVID cash grant of $25,000. And only a few months ago, an additional nearly $14 million President Ali sent to this area for the support as a hinterland grant to families in Matthews Ridge and the surrounding communities. Likewise, the 446 children that we have within this area going to school, each one has received this year $30,000. And I think the last time when Minister Kroll and I were here, some of the guys who had stood up to speak at the meeting had said that they were ramping up production at home as well. So we are happy to work with you. Likewise, we have, I think, 70 pensioners in Matthews Ridge that we are supporting every month with $28,000, and since President Ali took office again, within 2 years, it moved from $20,500 to $28,000. Similarly, old age public assistance is now $14,000 per person per month, and 58 persons within this area are currently also receiving. That aside, I think that a few months ago, myself, Minister Vikram Bharat, and Minister Ashley Singh came to meet with the company, GMI, on the instruction of His Excellency the President, when there was tremendous damage to the roads within your community and between Kaitiuma and Matthews Ridge. At the end of that meeting, some commitments have been made or were made, and we have started to see some improvements. But I still believe that a lot more has to be done, and the residents of Matthews Ridge and the surrounding communities, you can be assured that this government is working for all the people of this area so that your lives could be improved. One of the most important things about today is that you have the President of Guyana, within your community. That doesn't happen regularly in many parts of this world, and even a few years ago, we didn't have this happening. So let us welcome President Ali and make sure that we raise our issues with him and we work with him to continue the development and continue to support him so that his government can work with you, the people of Matthews Ridge. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we have been waiting for. I take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali to deliver the feature address to Matthews Ridge. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much, please. Thank you so much. First of all, let me say how very pleased I am to be in Matthews Ridge, and say that I'm very pleased also that a number of the satellite communities could have joined us today. As we embark on this mission, which is primarily to listen to you, to listen to some of your concerns, to listen to you on the challenges you face, and to see how we can find solutions together, how the government can work with you in improving your lives and creating a better condition of living for all of you. You know, we came into government in a very difficult period. Many difficult situations we have had to deal with since coming to government. When we assumed office, we had the worst pandemic ever, the COVID-19 pandemic. And we're not out of that pandemic as yet. Then we had the worst food shortage in the world in decades that the world have ever seen. We had the worst supply chain crisis. We had the worst cost of living issues the world have ever seen. All of these challenges, we came into office, we met, we confronted, and yet, we have been able to deliver more than 75% of what we set ourselves to deliver in the manifesto in less than 2 weeks. We have removed more than 200 taxes. We have given you back to school uniform grant, transportation grant. We have brought back the school feeding program. We have increased old age pension. We have increased public assistance. We are supporting differently abled persons. We have committed ourselves to the upliftment of lives of every single Guyanese. We have returned the CSO jobs. We have returned the presidential grant. We have granted a COVID-19 relief grant. We have granted a hinterland and riverine community grant. All of this we have done so that we can ease the burden on you and your families and your communities. These investments were made to make your lives easier. As we confront the challenges of the future, we have to understand what is it that will give us the best possible life in the communities we come from and in Matthews Ridge. And let us take health for example. What we are trying to do is to build a healthcare system that can support the health needs of every single citizen. So we are building 4 new level 5 hospitals in the country. That is hospitals of international standard. Those hospitals will be supported by regional hospitals, level 3 hospitals. And in Region 1, we'll invest, we have already invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the healthcare system. But in the next 3 years, we're going to invest more than $5 billion additional resources to improve healthcare in Region 1. At Fort Kaituma, at Matthews Ridge, at Mabaruma, at Moruca, we are investing so that you can have the best facilities. Much more than this, we have said that every single person from these communities who have the basic entry requirement and would like to be trained as nurses, health workers, and even teachers, we are encouraging you to get registered and let us help you to get trained so you can be qualified and we can bring you in the system to support the health and education sector. For us, we can't build a modern society unless we have every single person having access to electricity. And that is why we're expanding electricity supply all across the country. In communities where we don't have a grid system, we are working on giving those communities solar farms. And in other communities, we are working on a 30,000 solar household program. So every single household in the hinterland and riverine area will have some form of energy supply, electricity supply within the next 3 years. These are the investments that we are making that are transformative in nature, that will uplift you, that will give your children a better possibility of a better future, that will help them in their studies. We have launched an extensive education program. The Gold Scholarship Program is geared at improving the qualifications of children and giving children, young people, even adults, access to education all across the country. In communities that we have great difficulties because of internet connectivity, what we are going to do in those communities is that we are going to build hubs, ICT hubs, study centers, so that every single person can have access to the Gold Scholarship program that we have. In this community itself, we have a number of persons who are naturally skilled in mechanical work, in electrical work, in welding and fabrication. One of the things that we want to do next year is to bring the private sector to this community to see how many skilled persons we have and to see how we can create employment for those skilled persons, how we can have you solve the labor problem we are having on the coast, especially in technical areas. So we will have a recruitment drive in this area to select you, identify you, train you. So Minister Indar and Minister Ashley will be back here with a number of the private sector people, especially those who are operating the oil and gas sector, so that they can be here to support you, so that they can be here to help you in identifying the young people, those who are willing to be trained, those who have the skills and need a certification, so we can involve you in the active development of our country whilst you have an income coming your way. I can talk to you today about the hundreds, the tens of millions of dollars we transfer directly to you to ease your burdens, to reduce the impact of the cost of living, to help you during COVID, to help you during the floods. But you know this. I don't have to identify all of this to you. You know this. You know the challenges that we have had over the last 2 years. We had to overcome a group of people who believe that in this modern era, they could hold on through undemocratic ways to take this country by force. But we have to all fight together to maintain democracy. We all have to sacrifice to ensure that Guyana democracy was not derailed by a few who believe that they have the right to steal the freedom from people, to steal your votes, and to steal a government that you elected with your free will. Those days are long gone. Our modern society, our country must be built on the strength of democracy, on the rule of law, on trust, on respect, on love for all, love for every community, and commitment by every single one for the upliftment of our country and the development of our communities. Everyone must commit to this. As I said, I don't want to be long today because today belongs to you. I want to respond to all the issues. But there are some specific issues that I'm very disappointed in. And I speak very frankly. I sent the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Local Government to have a conversation with the company here, the manganese company. After many residents would have complained, as I arrived here today, whilst there has been marginal improvement, let me be very frank, and I asked for the general manager to come and sit here, because I would not accept the company not fulfilling its corporate responsibility. We cannot accept it. We spoke about the abuse of infrastructure in this community. The heavy trucks not only driving on the roads, the internal roads within the community, but driving on the airstrip now. Driving on the airstrip. The company had a responsibility to maintain the road between Matthews Ridge and Port Kaituma. You know that maintenance work is not being fulfilled. It is not being fulfilled. Just driving through the internal roads of the community, it will demonstrate to you that you are not fulfilling your responsibility in maintaining the infrastructure of the community. We want to work with you. We welcome investment. We welcome foreign direct investment. But in bringing that investment, you must also keep true and stay true to your social responsibility. So whilst we will continue to work in supporting the investment and supporting the investor, I'm making it very clear that investors need to step up their game and fulfill their responsibility to this community. I'm going to ask the Minister of Natural Resources and his team to come and have a very frank discussion with this company. And we must have targets set and time frame. And that time frame must be monitored stringently. I also know that we set aside $27 million to buy the equipment, the equipment to extend the electricity supply to Minot. The equipment, all the material is bought and it's at Port Kaituma. Over a year now. And the technical people have not fulfilled their responsibility, I will say, in ensuring that the construction aspect of the work is completed so electricity can be taken to the people. So what we will do today, I've already asked the Electricity Corporation, the entity here, to work out the costs. We have the material. We will provide the labor, we'll pay for that labor from the community, and we'll take the electricity to Minot. Enough time has passed, and we'll have this fulfilled. The internal roads within the community, we have to address the internal roads. So there are some roads, I think 3.8 kilometers of roads in Station Street, School Street, Heaven Hill, and Hell Hill. Those 4 roads, I've asked Minister Indar, Minister Nigel, Minister Collin, and the regional engineer before the end of this week to come up with a solution in which the local contractor and the residents will be involved in building these streets, so the employment and the revenue generation and the income generation will be right here in the community. And whilst we wish all of you happy holidays, for this cabinet, we are working through the holiday. And before the end of this year, the work on these 4 streets must commence. Must commence to have those 4 roads going. There are also some other satellite communities, but I wait to listen to you to hear what your priorities are. I know, for example, Minot, they have also road issues. We're going to look at addressing those issues. But I want to give you the opportunity to raise your issues also. Let me say to you that when Minister Indar and the private sector individuals come, we want to have all the young people who require training and certification in particular areas, so that we can help you. Income generation and having access to jobs requires us, the government, preparing you for those jobs. And we are willing to make the investment to prepare you for those jobs. That is what we are willing to do. To ensure we give you access to the training and to ensure we provide the training opportunity. The Minister of Agriculture is also going to come before the end of this year. What we want to do is to identify a group of young people and single mothers. We want to identify 25 acres of land, and we want to develop a model agricultural food production system here for this sub-region. So that if a company have to buy food supplies, the model farm can be a provider of food for the company and food for all the other private sector entities, for the mining sector, right here. So we are going to work with you on an integrated model farm of 25 acres. So we'll work with single parents and young people. The Ministry of Marine Affairs with the Minister of Housing and Water, who have responsibility for this area, will work together with the Ministry of Agriculture in designing this so we can move into actualizing it by the first half of next year. So we can develop this 25 acres area. These are the ways in which we can build a new breed of entrepreneurs, in which we can bring additional revenue to the community. So my dear friends, I am very pleased to be here with you today. I want to hear from you. I want to listen to you. I want to also listen to your ideas as we work together to build a stronger Guyana, a unified Guyana, a Guyana in which all our people, let me say this meeting was open to everyone. Regardless of if you're on the fence, out the fence, over the fence, behind the fence, this meeting was open to everyone. To the NDC, RDC, everyone. Because there seems to be a new narrative. Because this government is active in every single community, regardless of how you voted or how you did not vote. This government is going to every single community, and that is bothering the opposition. We have to call them out. Now they're using their local leaders to say, we have to block the government from coming in. Why? Democracy, the best form of democracy is from here, the ground, when the people are involved. When you can come here in this open environment and speak about your needs, speak about your challenges, and speak about what you want as your priority. And guess what? They are invited to listen too. They're invited to listen too. But if you want to absent yourself from the forum that gives the people the power to tell you what they want, then you're absenting yourself from the lives of the people, from the development of the people, from the development of the community. And guess what? If you absent yourself from the lives of the people, you have no moral or ethical responsibility to believe that you can be in the government to develop for the people, because you do not have the interest of the people at heart. And I'm very clear on this. With every ounce of energy in my body, with every ounce of energy in this government, they have one mandate. We have one mandate: to tear down every single barrier of division, to take down every barrier, every wall of hate, every wall that they put before us to divide us and separate us as a people. We will tear it down and destroy it. We will plow through it, and we will build a Guyana that is united and free and prosperous, one that brings to every single citizen a life that they richly deserve. That is our mission, a singular mission, a unified mission, a mission in which the priorities of the people are the most important things for us. And I speak passionately about it because we know how hard we're working to achieve it. But there is a select few in this country. Many of them, their only ability they have is to put pen on paper and with the ink of hate, write all day. But ask them to do something, they can't do a thing. They can't do a thing. But I have the power in the ink of hate. But I have one ink. But that ink is the blood in my body. And the blood in this government is the blood of love, unity, togetherness, and bringing people forward. Whole day, they go up on the mountain and they shout, discrimination, discrimination. Where is it? Everything we do is for every single community. When we build healthcare, every guy needs benefit. We build education, everybody benefit. We give education grant, everybody benefit. We give a cash grant, everybody benefit. We give the presidential grant, every Amerindian community benefit. We signed the LCDS, the world-class deal recently. The entire world is asking us, how did you do it? How did you achieve this? And you have a select few in this country. Sour. Every time this country made progress, every time we achieve something, every time we are recognized for something, they more sour they get. I can't understand it. If you have to be in a marriage with so much sour people, best thing out to get out. Let me be very, very clear. And I'm sure the vast majority of people in this country are seeing for themselves how sour they are. And they're going to get out of their grip. And they're going to get out of their perceived control over which they think they have a people. And they will join the line of love, unity, prosperity, and they will work with us in this government to do. I'm seeing it in every community. There's a season for everything and a time for everything. The season and time for elections are over. It will come back in 5 years and you'll ensure you do what is right. But after the season and time was completed, they did not want to respect the outcome. They did not want to respect the outcome. When you elected us, and the people of this country elected us, they elected us to govern in the interest of all the people of our country. And I am proud to say that with a clear conscience, and a clear heart, we can say unequivocally that we have been doing just that, governing in the interest of all the people of our country. So as we continue this discourse in which the power of the people is the power of the government, in which the power of the people is the power that decides what their priorities are, in which the power of the people is reflective in the government bringing their needs to the front. As we continue this forum, I now hand you that power in telling us how we can make your life better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You would have highlighted a lot, and there are still many to be highlighted. So, in saying that, the floor is now open for the question and segment from you, the people of Matthews Ridge.
Vital. Wow, good morning again. Matthews Ridge, a loud applause for the President and his team. ministers, this president should be a preacher. Outstanding. We applaud him one more time for all that he has given already to us. Anyhow, I had a big paper, but I got to scrap it. Two things I have in mind to say. I'm the chairman of Matthews Ridge Police Station Committee, and we're short of a few things at the station. One, we need ATVs. At least 2 would work nice. A pickup for the station. We need a 911 phone at the station and a Wi-Fi system so that the CID, the station sergeant, can communicate out of Matthews Ridge on a 24-hour basis. There's a walkway from the main road to the police station, which is a shortcut, but has been accessed by every person in Station Street. We need to look at that walkway and see how we can do something here. It's the fastest way out from the station and Station Street to the main road in case of emergency. It's a need. That's for the police station. We have outstanding policing in Matthews Ridge. I must say so. Outstanding policing in Matthews Ridge. Let me give a loud applause to police in Matthews Ridge. Outstanding. For the schools, the food program. I had the opportunity to visit Baramito and Arakako. And the meals at Baramito and Arakako is like you're in Marriott. Balanced meal. At Matthews Ridge, unbalanced. The kids gotta drink water. At Baramito they drink juice, fruit juice. Arakako fruit juice. What happened to Matthews Ridge? This is not a government issue. This is a school issue. This is leadership in the school. The kids cannot have a balanced meal in Matthews Ridge School. No juice, no fruits. I have pictures to show at Baramito. You have a balanced meal. You have fruit, you have fruit juice, you have big chicken, etc. There are days for everything, depends on the menu. We need to upgrade what we have here at the school so the kids can have a proper meal. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And lastly, last and final, we wish to have a piece of land where all the cattle owners can have their cattle go out of the village. We have a piece of land and every cattle owner will have their cattle in the land and we will fence it and everybody would benefit from the piece of land to put the cattle so to be away from the village, the traffic and the airstrip. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, Ministers of the Health Table, today I would like to present on 2 areas for Matthews Ridge that needed urgently attention. In your remarks, you would have highlighted that the electricity extension would be to minor. Mr. President, there is also another area, Fakira and Raylan, that need to be benefit from that extension. Fakira and Raylan. Mr. President, the youth in our community need new areas to develop not only academically and skills. So far, we have been receiving skill training programs under the Ministry of Labor, and because we do not have a functioning skill training center, those skills are not put to use for this year. If we can have such facility functioning, we can utilize those skills to provide better service to the people of Matthews Ridge. Mr. President, as it relates to sport, our community has been neglected for quite some time. We have been waiting a very long time for the Minister of Sports to visit Matthews Ridge to have a first-hand look at our recreational facility. Our recreational facility is right over on the other side. Also, we have been having a setback with sports gears for the Matthews Ridge youth. Transportation to traverse to partake in events across the sub-region has always been a challenge for Matthews Ridge. If these areas can be addressed, our youth of this community can support the vision of your government and work to develop our community. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'll now invite a representative from the class. We have a wide section of communities or satellite communities represented here. So we have a representative from the class, and next I'm calling a representative from my lab. So just be prepared.
Good morning, Ministers of His Excellency. Welcome again. My name is Colonel Jupiter. I'm a former Hinterland Scholarship student, and I've appealed to the Minister before on matters of agriculture. Not just because I see it as a benefit, but growing up on a farm, I noticed the importance of food security. And being a child in Matthews Ridge, the storage barn is just like a landmark or a location. The buildings are long gone. We don't have any storage. You know, most of these foods coming from Georgetown or recent. So when I heard you mention, well, the agriculture minister is coming here, and we're going to get some land to do some stuff. But to be honest, I've been feeling we have sent proposal to the ministry about 2 years ago, and then last year again, they replied and said, well, it's going to the technical team. So I'm just hoping that you guys are going to check in with us, because there's some young people that have been ready very long, but we haven't heard from anybody in particular. Reach out also to Sir sincerely. Well, putting the issue of agriculture aside even is very important. There's a personal issue that's affecting me and every other young person that is applying for a government job in this region. There's a young lady from Arcata by the name of Omina Williams. I haven't forgotten her. She always aspired to teach, but she only had about 4 subjects to CHC. They gave her that chance and they told her, well, you know, we're going to work with you, then we're going to get you to get educated, a bit more qualified, we're going to send her to CPC and so on. It never happened. This young lady, her father gave her his boat, his engine. She used to bring children from 14 miles down the river to go to school. She never got paid for that whole year. I came in Matthews Ridge to give my service to the school, and I ended up in a similar situation. I'm not here for us to like just blame the headmistress and the senior mistress. We need to organize a better team because, or a better way of paying people, because it's happening also in the health field and other fields. Even my mother, when she used to do my recipe, sometimes her salary comes 6-8 months late. So we need to find a way to adjust it so these beautiful young ladies don't need to end up in the back dam. Because right now, Omina Williams is in the back dam. Somebody who's always dreamed of being a teacher. Because of how the system has treated her, you know, she finds another way to work. So I'm just hoping that we can really focus on this agriculture and focus on the way and the rate in which we pay these people, because they're not going to value the jobs. And we need people in certain areas. Thank you.
Listen, I want to ask the Minister of Education and the Chief Education Officer to come here before the end of the year. I want that Ms. Williams, young lady, to come. I want all the other persons who have the qualifications for teaching, nursing, and health workers to come to that meeting, and they will announce it. Colin, you're going to follow up on this so that we can resolve this before the end of the year. I'm looking for the REDO to find out what happened to this young lady. So we're going to work with you on this. So Nigel, and I want to report back on these things too.
Yes, you already mentioned, sorry. Yes, you talk a lot about Okay. Yes. Let us start with the Magnus company. These trucks, Mr. President, these trucks, they normally have a lot of tinted the glasses and the tailgate normally that's open. So when it's carrying from the road, you find that the hump, and that one. Secondly, I want to thank you when you were the Minister of Housing. You said to me that you've been happy one day that God will help you to assist us. And doing it diligently, I can see that you achieved what you said. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Mr. President. Yes. The next thing, right? I'm living in my parents' house, and my children living in their parents' house. If you understand what I'm saying, it's one generation to a next generation in the same house.
Okay, listen. Yeah. All the personal issues, let's deal with community issues now.
Okay.
Where is Dwayne? Dwayne, come in front so they can see you. All the personal issues go to Dwayne. Right? Dwayne and Jaida, they're taking down the personal issues. Let's focus on community issues.
Good day, His Excellency and other members, honorable ministers. Once again, I'm the CDC Chairman, Sharon Phillips, from Massachusetts Chair. Some points I would like to make. You spoke about the roads, the internal roads, that you have 4 roads there to finish. But I would also like to, if you could include, Pakira has 2 internal roads that is very bad. One of the issues at Pakira is that the manganese company had broken a dam and washed away the culvert there. That is over 6 months ago. We have about 20 people living on that dam. One that is very sick and has to come every other day to the hospital, and he has to walk down into that hole before he can reach up to
Okay, hold on a second. Ask the GM here. When are you going to fix this dam that you broke 6 months ago? You broke the dam, you go fix the dam. You broke the dam, you go fix the dam. You can't have 6 months. So I'm saying to the company, you broke the people dam, you're expected to fix the dam. Alright?
Sir, it's the last company, not us, build the dam.
I don't want the last company or this company. The dam was broken, you need to fix the dam. So before the end of this year, I'm hoping the dam is fixed. You heard me, right? You heard me, right?
Yeah, I got it.
I don't care what you got. You heard what I said. The company broke the dam, the dam will be fixed. Whether last or current, the dam has to be fixed. We can't operate like that.
Quickly, 2 more points on the road. We lately have the Baramo Company recently.
By the way, these communities are governed by rules. You have a minister who comes here that can't even get to speak to you. The chairman of the region requests meeting with you, they can't even see you. So I want a monthly meeting now that you will go to the RDC or the sub-district here, you will have to attend. A monthly meeting between all the utilities heads and the region. A monthly meeting. I'm very clear on this. Every month there must be a meeting in which, are you hearing me? In which you will attend. The general manager will attend, no one else.
Okay, quickly, we have another company lately start cutting wood, Baramo Company. They're also destroying the road, the main road going to Port Kaitumo. There's also miners on the road that every time the rain falls now, there's big flood on the road. We never had that before. It is now happening. We reported it numerous times. It's still happening. It's getting worse because the water getting deeper on the road itself. We would also like to ask if the government can help us with a housing project, especially for the elderly, because we have a lot of elderly here living in what we call sheds or so on, because they can't afford it. And as you notice, our community is not that developed. So if we can have a housing project. Also our water system, there's well built yet, but we also have about 30 people that is out of the water range. If you can assist us with some black tanks, so that we can help those Amerindians there. Thank you.
Thank you, CDC Chair. I now invite the representative from Baramita, and that will be followed by the representative from Arakato.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Mr. President and Honorable Ministers. My name is Unika Melbourne, Deputy Crucial from Baramita. The issues we are getting in Baramita is that we need an upgrade of our hospital, and we also need an ambulance to take our sick ones to the hospital. Also, our pensioners. It takes 6 months to bring their pension. If they could get it every month, it would be better for them, because if they get a lump sum, sometimes they drink, or sometimes somebody snatch the money from their hands and run away with it. So we really need you to help us, and we are asking for electricity also. And the other day, I do a petition, and I'm still looking out for a response from our Minister, Honorable Colin Sukai, for a response. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A pleasant good afternoon to the members of the head table, all protocol observed. First, my name is Lyndon Green, CDC Vice Chair, Arakato. I must compliment the government for rapid transformation in Arakato. Because under the previous government, we were only promised and promised and promised. But I can tell you, since this government take office, we have been seeing a lot of transformation. I just have a few requests here. One, we are requesting to have a Wi-Fi system set up because of the digital signals not functioning too properly. We are asking for an extension of our electricity to be extended because we have a very huge generator.
and this generator can supply 2 more communities like Arakato. So we are requesting for an extension of the electricity in Arakato. Presently, we have 4 teachers at CPC, and I can tell you that we no longer cry out for shortage of staff at the Arakato Primary School, which I must compliment the government for that. Mr. President, I heard earlier you spoke about the investment in agriculture for the Matakai sub-region, and I think the best place is Arakato for that program, because we have the land there, and we think that the best place for the investment for that agricultural program is Arakato. I am also speaking on behalf of the miners. For too long, our miners would have been left behind. We have change of weather, a lot of rain. They flood out, they got to start all over again. I'm speaking on behalf of the miners to have some system set up, either a loan can surrender to them or something. Because many times we start working, we get flooded out, we have nowhere to turn. So those are just few requests from Arakato, and we hope to get a response. Thank you.
Do we have any representative from Tassolini? Who's from Tassolini here? Maynard? Who's from Tassolini? You're from Tassolini?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tassolini representative. The very first time we fought with this thing. What your requesting for, I'm glad the school, they are very glad the school, the health center also. I feel everyone feels nice about it. The school children, the parents also feel very nice. Right now, we're looking forward for the children playground. We got to get a children playground. A place very close up. Children playgrounds also. First, number 2, the water system, also the water well. Since only this year we're supposed to get the water well, but right now the water will not finish yet. Of course, also, most people that you want help with housing in the house. We have a chair pool in, so everyone has pool in. Pool in. We got a village center. Right now, village center. Yeah, that is another. What else? John.
Can we have a representative from my lab now? Come.
Good afternoon, Minister of Indian Affairs, Minister of Housing, Local Government, and to you, His Excellency, welcome to Matthews Ridge. I am Ignatius Charlie, farmer and pensioner of Matthews Ridge. I have one issue concerning the hospital. If a patient fractured or broken his arm, that patient has to be sent to Port Kaituma for X-ray. We don't have, this hospital doesn't have no X-ray. And a person has to pay $5,000 to $6,000 to go to Kaitumo for X-ray and 5,000 and 6,000 back to Matthews Ridge. Your Excellency, water and housing. I have made to understand that there is a contract in Region 1, Smith Creek, to build 10 houses, and vulnerable and pensioners will be benefiting from this housing project. Mr. Kroll, don't forget us here in Matthews Ridge. We need saying. Minister of Amerindian Affairs, I made to understand that you will review the Amerindian languages of the 9 Amerindian villages, and that you will sponsor and form groups, culture groups. And this will happen when the budget passes. I welcome you on this, and don't forget Matthews Ridge. As you can see, the 2 little youngsters, they have this kind of sports activity. Excellency, we, the farmers, miners, and the entire residents of Matthews Ridge, we condemn what has taken place at State House. We strongly condemn the forceful and forcefully and threatening the lives and families at State House. We strongly condemn that what took place at State House. Excellency, I'm a former Central Committee member of the People's Progressive Party way back in the early 70s, and a former organizer of the party in Region 9. But, as Dembai said, I have eaten the more, but I remain here in Matthews Ridge. Excellency, on behalf of myself and family, to you and family, a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Officer. I now call on the representative from Minot.
I am the representative from Minot, George Jacob. Well, this road needs repair, and we also need a health post for Minot, which will serve a great purpose. I think that is it.
We'll have one more comment from the audience.
Good afternoon, Honorable President and citizen minister. My name is Bonnie Lara. I'm a medical officer with the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, and my concern is on behalf of the Matthews people, the track. We welcome the road that is going up. There is a creek that runs through the track that always causes flooding in the track. Always causes flooding. We ask that enough money be allotted so that the creek could be cleaned properly. It needs cleaning so that the water could escape freely and prevent the flooding. Thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, I'll return to the chairperson so that His Excellency can give some responses to the concerns that were raised by residents. Some more, okay.
Mr. President, members of the Cabinet, the last government
give some land titles to the people of Matthews Ridge. And if this government now, no one will receive any more land titles. Thank you very much. All.
Good morning, Head of the Mr. President and your colleagues. I would like to make something there to come to reality. I am a constable in Matthews Ridge RC for over 12 years, for sure. And since at that time, trying to help the police, I tried to do my best. And since I trained at Port Kaituma, I never had a uniform. And I spoke about it many times, and nothing has been done about it. And now as I'm here, I'm willing to hear something from the head of table that constable must have their uniform so we can perform in our community. Number two, we need a welfare officer for social protection in Matthews Ridge, very urgent. Number three, the water system, the sewage in Matthews Ridge, at one time, a couple years back, I was the contractor for that. So since there's about over 10 years now, the sewage has not been cleaned properly. There's no contract given. Well, I could handle that if the government is willing to give me back the contract. I'm very happy with that because I'm a pensioner, right? And number four, I have 7 years experience doing local civil engineering. And I contact the NDC, the CDC, and everybody know who am I and what I can do, but I never had the opportunity to do so. I have nobody listening to me, nobody take advice. So you remain like that. So thank you very much, Head of Table, Mr. Excellent President, for your visit here, and I hope that we can see the Head of Table very often. So thank you very much.
Ma'am.
I'm a Clarence Mendoza. Attention. Retired administrator. Excellency, all I want is for whoever may be concerned. We have this one here, and I could recall when you write notes of letters of the teacher, the first thing you sit in court is think about the children, right? And I think that is needed here for teachers to think about the children. When they go in the classroom, they also think about the children, right? Presently, the children aren't doing well at that school. We need teachers. We need experienced teachers. We need teachers who would guide the children. You know, you put a little love in it. Let them know that you're concerned. Right? So we need more teachers because our children are not doing so well at the exam. I don't think we have like a math teacher. We may have an English teacher. We may not have the teachers that guide the children who are writing the exams for whatever they may have to do. We need teachers in the secondary department that would have that input in the children. So that is not only in themselves, but in the teachers, in the children. We have Amerindia not only in the Miami,
We have Rangers from Barnita, from along past the Minot, way up to Jonas, Kyrie, and you got it because during my time of work, I worked with the Election Commission, and I know all those places. There are Amerindians there who need help. There are Amerindians just by the airstrip. You got it? Not only in the Minot. Long ago we had Granny Minot, we had Candlefly Minot, and we had that Minot. Right, so when you concentrating on that Minot there, it's only those are not the people who only need help and will do more. Some of these people, when they get a little money, I don't have to tell you where they go. But you have other people, other Amerindians that are struggling and need this little cash. Some of them do not get because they don't do well. You ask them, stand, share out, some of them didn't get done. And those people are supporters. There's only few people with debt. And those are people who don't appreciate what is given to them. So, I think you need to think about the people. These people, I noticed some of them spoke this morning. I said, apparently they now wake up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Who's next? Good day, Mr. President, fellow members of the Cabinet. My name is Mr. Marlon Williams. My concern is very short. I must commend Mr. President for the great initiative that he has formed in streamlining the President Cup. That gives me an unction to start to function more. Mr. President, my concern is on the youth. I am in the coach of 2 teams here presently, but my concern is that years in getting these people ready to enter this competition is a challenge for me. I know that you are a man on a mission, and I know that you listen to people concerned, so I would ask if you can assist us in years. Also, our surrounding the facility at the community center here, we need lights. Because most of the players there, they work up to 6, but when they come to actually have their recreational practice, the place is already dark. So we cannot have proper training and to, get these footballers and the sports people ready for this competition. I must thank you for what you have done, and I know that you are indeed a great person who is looking into my concern, and I thank you for what you're going to do for us here at Marshall Field. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. This is the Regional Leader. I got one big problem, it's the road. This road, no cameraman can walk in peace. Nobody can walk in peace. I walk, can't walk for a living. When these trucks are on the road, I can't walk. I can't supply the children. You see, for come from the airport this morning, they are saying to do the road because you coming this morning. You was living like that anywhere. No. We was living like that. And you got to drive on the road to go back. You will see what the rain doing with it. And when you go back, we get an impression. And the next thing, we don't have an ambulance to Popular Hospital. If we have a patient with diabetes, we call a taxi. If they are bleeding or the male bleeding, they don't want to carry the patient. Who are we going to call? Can you be patient bleeding? Nobody want to carry the patient. We need our own ambulance. The road for that children walk from here to school, right now when the rain don't fall. Imagine how these children going home through the mud. And the road, the place is like you have farm. Smart. We don't get a nice concrete road in here. Lovely concrete road, the place very, very smart. And the streets, we have a lot of streets in here. Run around, small like it's a circle. And Mr. President, you go through the streets out there. to see the whole site. We need concrete road in it.
Hey, you came late, right? You came a bit late?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was standing right.
Because I spoke about the streets, right? I spoke about company responsibility too.
So with that, I would want to advise that we do not rehash issues that were already dealt with, okay? May I remind us as well, for those persons with personal issues, there are two persons, David here and Mr. Jailal who's outside. Oh, he's in here as well. They will be taking the personal issues.
Good morning, everyone, Mr. President and his many colleagues. My name is Monique Munsami Gomes. I am a teacher attached to the Matthews Ridge Primary Top, which is the secondary arm of the school, and we are lacking a lot. Now, when we complain to the relevant authorities, which are under the education aspect, some of them, they have attitudes and they want to handle the teachers. Now, before I go into that, I'd like to, of course, thank those who would have made Matthews Ridge Primary Top a center. So we and our students, we do not have to travel to Port Kaituma for them to sit the CSEC exam May June. Also, we are carrying out our integrated science labs here in Matthews Ridge, and I must thank you for that. Also, our school, we're having water, running water, and electricity day and night. So, thank you for all of that. However, we have other pressing issues that needs to be dealt with, at least for the new term. For starters, we do not have an information technology lab. Now, our students, they have to type their SBAs and present a soft copy to CSEC. Now, many of these students do not know how to turn on a system, much as to use it. I personally begged when a few other ministers came, but nothing. Secondly, we need an integrated science lab. Now, I would have mentioned that we're doing our integrated science lab, FBA labs here. However, we are sourcing chemicals from the Port Kaituma Secondary. Now, all of those chemicals have been expired since 2020, and that's what we're working with. We do not have the necessary equipment to carry out certain studies, certain assignments, certain projects that the CSEC SBA requires. So we would have to substitute that with something else. And I don't think that is fair. Because when these children go to CSEC, they won't have an idea of what's going on. And we're likely to have failures more than students who pass. Just that, we need more teachers in the primary and the secondary arms of the school. Now, I, myself, and 5 other teachers are responsible for the entire secondary department. We need more, and we are taxed, energetically we're taxed, and mentally we're taxed. Also, we have overcrowded classrooms, and nothing, we're complaining, nothing is being done. The education officers just say, okay, we look into it, and I don't know what it is looking into, if it's an invisible problem or they just don't care about us here. They need to do better for the students who are trying to become something in the aspect of education. We also really need any tactile form of learning for students who are not book savvy. Again, I'm going to say this. Not all of our students in this country will be book savvy or book smart. You have some are tactile learners. They prefer to do things with their hand. Now, if we do not give them things to do, we're robbing them specifically. We're robbing them of being greater than just learning what is in the book and writing on a piece of paper. We need a center of some sort for these children to learn things. I am begging. This is the second time the the third time, the fourth time, and beyond that I am begging for this. Now, I'm not begging for this for me, but for the students of this community, and we love to say education is the key, but we are not giving the key to these children to unlock the full potential. So please, I am begging you to let something be done in the education system for this community. Port Kaituma is favored. They are highly favored. The secondary arm for Port Kaituma, they got television. Apparently, Matthews Ridge Primary Top, we don't deserve a television. But they're saying, miss, these children got to learn, do this, do that. But how can we teach when we don't have what is needed? They want us to work magic with things we don't have. We don't have the ingredients. We cannot cook the pot. Please do something about it. And I'm also saying to you officers that are here, I know you'll get fired for this, or not fired, no. I'm not going to come under pressure for this, but some officers, they have the nastiest of attitude when you speak to them concerning the education system. They won't handle you more than they can handle the babies or whoever. And they need to stop that. If a teacher comes to you with an issue, your place, you are being paid to look into that issue and get it fixed. We got to stop this nonsense and looking at face of these things. This didn't make it. It didn't make it long, but it can't make it now, and it won't make it in the future. But I am just begging for the education system of Matthews Ridge Primary be fixed, overhauled, and every good thing done to it. Please. Thank you.
So we'll have 3 more comments, and then we'll close for His Excellency to respond.
Good afternoon to Mr. Excellency, Dr. Akon Ali, and the head table. Special good afternoon to you guys. Today I stand here and I'm so happy to see, I could see my president face to face. Today I'm happy to stand here to see my president face to face, and I would like you to know the truth about our community and the people that live in the community. No matter what company come in Matthews Ridge, it cannot please the people in the community. No matter what doctor we get, cannot please the people in the community. For example, it's not what I say, it's what I hear with my 2 big ears. If we get a doctor, they find a call, they call she lesbian, she this, she that. If we get a male doctor, they call him gay, he's not doing the work, he's a junkie, he's this. If we get a teacher, she's this, she's that. So we find this is the downfall of Matthews Ridge. If, for example, Mr. Gregory Vincent, he cleaned our community with his own truck, and yet people stole him. That is the downfall of Matthews Ridge, but people is not speaking the truth. We need to speak the truth. People would say the manganese company come in and take the land away. But Mr. Excellency, our community people in this community is very lazy. They is not even weeding them yards, and they want to own land. We need to come and get togetherness, as our Excellency speak about it. We need to work together as family. We need to work together with unity. And that is what Matthews Ridge don't have. Not what, no matter who come in Matthews Ridge, we will not see betterness because it's just a bundle of crap pulling each other down. Mr. Excellency speak about meetings. Sometimes minister come here and kill us, the center cannot open. These are things that hiding, and it needs to expose. People in authority need to live in love with the rest of residents. They need to cooperate. So today, that want to expose to our government and let them know the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Okay, good day, His Excellency Dr. Tutanani, all members of the head table. My name is Mr. Peter Springer, a migrant who is volunteering at Aeropaca Primary School. Dr. Ali, I am humbled by your approach as a leader of this country, where you embrace the grassroots approach towards leading this country. The testament of that is you and your team being here. We want to thank you in Region 1 and as a country as a whole. As you can see, I do have a few inches in my head, and I can say to you, for the years of being living as a Guyanese, I've never seen a president who hits the streets, kick the bricks, get where the people need help, try his best to address it honestly, sincerely, with dignity, equity, and unity. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. Now, with regards to the road, as you heard of it, it's not only the road, it's also the water that might be polluted. I would beg that you send a team of EPA reps to address, just to make sure that the people of Ridge are healthy when they drink the water. And again, it's not just the road. It floods because of the dam that they constructed to retain the water for the manganese mining purpose. So, please, do not demand only help for them to fix the road, but to address these other social issues too. So I'm through with the Ridge. By the way, our roof is leaking. So in light of that, I would beg that probably we consider redeveloping this community center for Ridge and possibly constructing one for our capital, given that we are where I live and we do not have a community center. I'm not going to say much with regards to agriculture, for my colleague Sir Green have already shared that our capital do have a passion to get involved in that. But what I would like to add is also the cages. I'm hoping that you're considering having the Ministry of Agriculture bring the cage initiative to Region 1, given the abundance of water we have, and given the fact that a lot of single women are in need of meaningful employment. I will close off on what you have heard the most of, education. Our Ministry of Education and Teaching Service Commission needs a total revamp. I give you personal example. I applied for remigrant status through the Ministry of Home Affairs. Customer service excellent. I got my correspondence timely, professionally, and encouraging. I applied for land through the Lands and Survey. Cannot complain again for the quality of service that I received. I've been volunteering almost 2 years now at Aeropaca Primary School, and I'm dismayed, disgusted in the way in which our ministry and the Teaching Service Commission treated our educators. It's ridiculous. For example, I've applied for a full-time position after members of the community encouraged me to do so. I submitted my application in September, called in November, Teaching Service Commission, just to ask the status, did you receive it, whatever. And to my dismay, the response was, we do not send out correspondence saying whether we have received an application or not. The question I beg, why? If Natural Resources is doing a wonderful job in terms of customer service, if Home Affairs is doing Foreign Affairs is doing a wonderful job when it comes to customer service, why Ministry of Education of all, Teaching Service Commission of all, who are bestowed to educate this wonderful nation is dropping the ball so ridiculously. Mr. President, please help your teachers. Thank you.
Mr. President and your team, ministers of the government, and everyone else who's here. I'm very thankful to have this opportunity here to stand before you, and thank you for the invitation to be here as a member of the public. And I've been living in this region for the past 10 years, 2 of which I spent here in Matthews Ridge, and the remaining 8 years as a proud resident of the village of Baramita. And I'm very happy and pleased that I can express my concerns that are community issues in nature. Of course, I would not want to repeat what the Deputy Tushau said, Ms. Onika Melbourne. I just simply would like to indeed endorse what she said. And added to that, I have 2 issues to mention or to raise to the attention of everyone here. At this moment, as we speak, many residents of Baramita village are complaining that they're hungry. I am there, I'm doing religious work for all my life. I've been doing religious work, and I'm a minister in that village, and it hurts me to see people hungry, and people cannot learn on an empty stomach. I grew up poor, and I'm proud. I can be poor but yet have dignity. And the people of Baramita, my Amerindian brothers and sisters, something needs to be done.
But hold. Baramita have a school feeding program. We just heard about their school feeding program. So children can't be hungry going to school. We have a full school feeding program in Baramita. You're aware of this? Okay. So you're aware of this, right? Huh?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's just correct that. Because we have a full school feeding program in Baramita. Good.
And the Amerindian people are living in a changing environment where mining, of course, doesn't always produce the results that they're looking for. If there could be some kind of assistance to them to adjust themselves to the different challenges that are coming, when the goal will run out or when the goal will not yield, how do they earn a living or livelihood? So these are things that I would be very happy if the authorities can look into a little bit more, because they're facing changing circumstances, and change is hard for them to make. They're accustomed to one way of life, but they need to adjust to what is taking place. So those 2 things, and their culture. The Amerindian people have their own culture, their dance, etc. But sadly, their culture, including their language, the young ones are no longer proud of these things. And I'm very much interested in languages and in the Amerindian languages, and I would love to see more efforts so that they can be proud of who they are, their culture included. So thank you very much for giving me this time, this listening ear, as I express these concerns, which I think will help my Amerindian brothers and sisters.
Thank you for your concern with these issues.
Excellency, honorable ministers, and everyone from Magistrate. Good afternoon. I'm Andy, the general manager of the manganese company. I feel sorry to hear many complain about the road. And actually, we have been working on the road once the weather allows. And we will continue to do so for the public roads from Magistrate to Kaituma. Meanwhile, we will also assist for repairing the road in the village. And so we will work closely with NDC, RDC, to try our best to fix the road in the village. Actually, we do have a plan to do so before the Christmas. And that's our commitment to the community. And I do wish we can work together and make the entire Mudcast operation better. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'll redirect the meeting to the chairperson.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm holding the company accountable to your commitment of fixing the roads before the holidays and maintaining the road. So, as I said, I want a monthly meeting so that we can have everybody around the table every single month looking at the issues, and we don't have challenges like these where you come to these meetings and there is a conflict between the company and the community. If you meet every month, you can minimize that. Alright? Good. Now if I may go through some of the issues, as I said, we'll be doing some of the roads. Some of the roads that you speak of, we'll be doing those roads. Now let us start with the chairman of the Matthew Ridge Policing Group. The request, before the end of this year, you'll have one ATV and one pickup. To help you in your policing work, we'll look at the walkway, the pathway to the police station to do with the concrete road. You make an excellent adjustment about the cattle area. When the Minister of Agriculture comes, we will examine the feasibility of this. Alright? The railing and Pakira area, electricity extension, I'm going to ask Minister Indar to work out the cost of this to see what is the best solution, whether it is solar household program or whether it's the extension of the grid. So he is going to look at this and have a proposal before the end of the year. Now in terms of your skills training center, I heard there is a center. We're going to work on upgrading that center, equipping that center with all of this need to make it a proper skills training center, and we're going to put it in the next year budget. In terms of your sports facility, $10 million has already been earmarked for the development of this sports facility. We're going to continue to work on the sports facility next year. We'll put some additional revenue so we can put in at least a pavilion, and we can put in some facility for players who are using the sports facility. We will also work before the end of this year. Mr. Vincent is here. Minister Colin Crowell is going to bring in some sporting equipment, football, volleyball, cricket, for all the sub-regions, so we can have that before the end of this year. All the communities that raise agriculture and want to get into agriculture, where the Minister of Agriculture is here, including aquaculture and cage farming. When the Minister of Agriculture is here, we're going to look at that and we're going to discuss that to see how we can develop a holistic plan for food production in this sub-region. The Pakira 2 internal roads, Minister Colin Indar and Nigel are going to look at this also. We have the commitment of the manganese company for the maintenance of the road and to do some work before the holidays. I'm going to talk to Barama also to see what they're doing. We're going to work on some housing projects through the Men on Mission, especially for the elderly in vulnerable communities. So next year, one of the things that Men on Mission will be doing in a lot of the vulnerable communities is building centers for the elderly
in which we can have accommodation and other facilities to support them. All right? Arataka, I heard you on agriculture, the ICT hub, and the extension of electricity. Minister Daros is also going to look at this. Tasawini school run, we're going to look at that also for you. You know, we just completed a school and a health hub in that community. So very soon we'll be opening the school and a health hub we built in that community. The cleaning of the creek at Platts, when the Minister of Agriculture is here before the end of the year, we'll discuss that and we'll work out a plan to have this done. The land titling, I'm going to check on what is happening in terms of land titling and have a specific exercise in Region 1 to deal with land titling. Now, one of the problems, my friend raised the issue with Education and the Teaching Service Commission. The problem is that the Teaching Service Commission is not appointed as yet. And the Teaching Service Commission is not appointed and functioning as yet because we had delays, you know. We had to deal with the opposition. The leader of the opposition went to court to try to block the appointment of the commission during the consultation. We are now in a position, before the end of this year, the Teaching Service Commission is going to be appointed so that teachers can be appointed all across the country. So it's not completely fair to say that the Teaching Service Commission and the Ministry of Education, they're dropping the ball. The ball is really, the problem is really the Teaching Service Commission not being in place. I'm going to let the Minister and the Ministry of Education come down here though, to look at all the teachers, to look at all the persons who want to be teachers, and have the entry requirements so we can get them employed. We are already trying to get in contact with the Williams young lady to bring her in the system. You made contact with her already? She is in Baramita, so we'll find her. The ambulance for the Pukiro Hospital, next year we're going to put that in the budget so that you'll have an ambulance here. The teacher who raised the issue about the Matthews Ridge stops, I'm going to ask the Ministry of Education to ensure a few things. One, that you have a computer lab, and two, that you have the television so you can have the e-learning, and you can have the smart classroom, and you can have all the facilities that we give through the learning channel. So that before the end of January, we'll try to have those television, Colin, you have to follow up on this, installed, and to have some computers installed to help the children with the SB before the end of January. I already dealt with the issue of teachers, the primary and secondary. I'll ask Nigel to look at the overcrowding at the primary and the primary top, and to see whether we need an extension of those two facilities so we can put them in the budget next year and have those facilities extended. The water, you want EPA to come and test the water, we're going to ask them to do that. Arataka, as I said, we're going to look at our agriculture and aquaculture that you raised. And I think Baramita, we'll have a special initiative in Baramita, including housing. I'll ask Colin and Pauline to go in there and to work out a plan through which we can give further assistance to that community. So those are the issues that were raised, and these are the things that we'll do. We've already committed to doing some roads before the end of this year. So together we're going to work on having all of this done. I'm very pleased to be here with all of you this morning. I am very thankful for your engagement. I thank you for the interest you're showing in your community, and know that you have a government that will work with you and respond to you. Unfortunately, I have many other meetings. I have to go to Maruka next. So please, thank you once again for all your comments and all your ideas that you share with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Ministers, residents of Matthews Ridge that would have came out today in your numbers, I thank you for being here. I thank you for raising your concern as a resident. And most of all, I would like to thank the President for addressing these issues as the true President to build our country under one Guyana. Thank you very much.
Margaret Badiger. Thank you.